Chapter 1. Morty started his morning on the wrong foot. He skipped his chores to play the newest computer game, Mega Mouse Maze. Mother insisted that Morty pause the game for breakfast, but Morty was in the middle of a level. I can't stop now, Morty thought, but Mother scampered over and switched off on the monitor. That's enough, she said. No more computer privileges for this week. Morty felt irritated. She never cares about what is important to me, Morty thought. He snatched up his backpack and stormed off to school alone without saying goodbye. Manners turned worse during math. Then Miss Snickerwister requested that Morty solved a problem on the board. Morty thought he had the answer, but Miss Snickerwister corrected him in front of everyone. As he returned, his seat in shame. Margie pointed out a stain on his Mega Mouse shirt, and the class dissolved to laughter. I'd rather have a dirty shirt than an ugly face, Morty snapped. Morty, Mrs. Snickerwister, I
exclaimed.
I won't stand for that behavior. Apologize to Margie right now, Morty. Morty had always gotten along with Margie, but he didn't feel apologetic. Fine, I'm sorry, he grumbled sourly. Margie sat quietly and nodded his head. Later, Morty realized that he had forgotten his homework. Later, Morty realized that he had forgotten his homework when he charged off to school in a huff. Miss Snickerwisker's class fewer than 5 late assignments each week meant they were rewarded a popcorn party on Friday. Morty was the 5th overdue homework, but it took forever to finish my homework. Morty protested. It's not fair. He was mortified to disappointment. His classmates during recess, the jaded Morty sat during recess. A
Dejected.
dejected Morty sat at the picnic table and sucked. Nobody dares to approach him. Everyone hates me, he thought with anger, with indignation. His ears burned and his whiskers twitched. Fred and Ben argued. Morty joined them at soccer. Come on, Morty, you big lazy grump, Ben shouted with a grin. Yeah, stop being a whiner and get over here, Fred hollowed. Laughter approached around Morty, and his face grew hotter with elation. How could Fred and Ben tease me? He thought as he clenched his hands. Morty was seeing red. He stood
Abruptly
and reached towards them. Shut up, he screamed with spit, or should I shut you up myself? Fred and Ben gaped at Morty in astonishment. Take it easy, Morty, Ben said. You don't have to play, Fred muttered. We were only kidding. Whatever you say, Morty barked. He crossed his arms, marched off, and stomped on anthills by himself until the bell rang. Chapter 2. When Morty got home, he usually loved to play with his younger sister Mary. But he knew today she would completely drive him up the wall. He scrambled upstairs to his room before she could pester him. Later, Mary knocked on the door. Morty, do you want to play Mega Mouse Maze? She asked. I'm not allowed. Go away, Morty snarled. Mary opened the door and inched into his room. We can play something else, she offered. Morty glared at her. I said, get out. I don't want to play with you, he said. Mary scowled in
Annoyance.
Mary scolded in annoyance. I'm going to tell Mom that you are being mean. Then you will be in huge trouble. Just leave me alone, Morty. Just leave me alone. Morty
Bellowed.
as he leaped from his bed to push Mary out the door. Morty accidentally shoved Mary too hard, and he tumbled down the hallway with a thud. When Morty saw her eyes flood with tears, he was overcome with shame. Before he started crying too, he slammed his door shut and threw himself on the bed. Chapter 3. Morty gazed at the Mega Mouse poster on his ceiling. Today was terrible, and everything I did made it worse, Morty thought. Sullenly, Morty, Mom began as she entered his room and sat on the edge of his bed. She concluded the scores. She continued in a serious voice. Mary told me what happened between you two. You've been so angry today. Morty swallowed hard. I've been having a really bad a really bad day. He revealed. I couldn't help how mad I got. everything, and nobody understood. Would you like to explain what's troubling you? Mother called Morty. Blushed out everything that went wrong during his third full day. Ben and Fred teasing Mrs. Snicker, scolding him, and tardy assignment, and his tardy assignment. It sounds like you felt embarrassed and alone, like you weren't being treated fairly. She scuttled. I bet you didn't think those feelings could lead to anger, Morty sighed. I guess not. Morty's mother held his paw. It's okay to be angry. Sometimes everyone loses their temper, but anger doesn't solve anyone's problems. When you start feeling angry, she concluded, pause and think about what's happening for a moment. You can't even count to 10. This will help you relax and think and figure out what is really causing your anger. Once you know that, you can try to find a solution. Well, I suppose you could have stopped to think about how Ben and Fred were teasing. How Ben and Fred were teasing me, Morty admitted. They were only trying to cheer up me. Exactly. You've already solved one problem. You had earlier, Mother said. Sometimes you can't change or fix what's making you mad. Then the sensible thing is to set aside your anger. Your anger. Aside your anger. If you don't You will only hurt yourself and those around you. I feel guilty about Mary, Morty said. I really hurt her. She will forgive you, Morty, so will everyone else, Mother said as she kissed Morty's head right between his ears. Morty was determined to right his wrongs. He understood what he needed to do. Somo. Chapter 4. The following day at school, Morty apologized to Fred and Ben. Margie then he promised Mr. Whisker that he conduct would improve. At recess, Morty played soccer, but he wasn't doing his best. The more goals he missed, the angrier he became. Then Morty remembered what Mother advised. Took a water break and paused to consider what was bothering him. I'm not playing very well, he thought. I am a bit embarrassed. Maybe I should just tell them how I'm feeling. Morty scurried back into the field and hugged with his teammates. I'm having a lousy game, he said sheepishly. We all have our moments. I'll just have to play twice as good, Fred said with a wink. Try 4 times, Morty added, and they all laughed. After the huddle, Morty didn't feel embarrassed anymore. He didn't scout in scoring even on one goal, but he had an answer time with his friend. Awesome time with his friends. When he returned home, he gave Mary a giant hug and explained how sorry he felt. Morty joined her in her favorite activity, playing dolls, and even
contributed
superhero action figures. That evening, when Morty was in bed waiting to be tucked in, he He
examined,
examined Mega Mouse flying through the atmosphere. Do superheroes get angry too? He wondered. Mother interrupted his thought with a peck on his cheek. Mom, Morty held his soft paw. You were right. It helps to stop the focus on why I'm getting mad. She smiled and squeezed Morty's paw. It isn't always smooth sailing, but you are shaping to be a strong mouse, like a Morty.